Everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of LHSRA Shorai, Reason here to talk about Rio's history. So, for the very first episode of the show, I decided to bring us here to Arraial do Cabo, one of the most important tourist locations in the state of Rio. Now, as you've probably just noticed, this place is absolutely packed with people, and here in December, which is actually summer season here in Brazil. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. Summer season in Brazil? Now, December? Yeah, well, let's just say that Santa Claus prefers the boat ride rather than the reindeers and the sleigh here. But yeah, why Arraial do Cabo? Well, the reason is very simple. This place right here is one of the places where Amerigo Vespucci most likely first visited in 1503, and he actually built a settlement here. Amerigo Vespucci, the guy, mind you, who got an entire continent named after him. Yes, the Americas. And I'm about to show you the settlement that he built right now. Let's go. I'm back. So, I actually have something to confess. That beach that you just saw me in actually isn't the beach that Amerigo Vespucci first came to when he came here to Arraial do Cabo. Yeah, that one was actually the Prainha, and this one is Praia dos Anjos, which is still in Arraial do Cabo, don't worry. Yeah, I know, two amazing beaches in one place. Yeah, this place actually kind of has 5,000 different beaches everywhere, so this place is pretty cool. But yeah, this place right here that is at the moment filled with a bunch of boats, originally in 1503 only had one, which was actually Amerigo Vespucci's one. And you might be asking yourself, how did he end up here? Well, he was actually kind of exploring the coast looking for India. But at some point he realized, wait a minute, I'm far too south to be in India. Maybe I found a new continent. And yeah, it's amazing that this place might have actually helped him realize that he wasn't going to India. He was actually in an entirely new continent that, as we just said, would later be known as the Americas after him. So, yeah. So, I mean, we were just over there, and right here next to us is the place where most likely Amerigo Vespucci and the other 24 men that he brought here came in 1503. And this is actually kind of the area that they built the settlement. The settlement is actually right over there in front of us, as you can tell. And we're about to go in there and see how it is. Let's go. So, I mean, let's be honest. Not a whole lot of the settlement is still left here, but this is kind of what remains. And I'm about to show you right now. Come here. Come over with me. That we're going to see the main parts that are still here, including this water fountain that is actually very important because, according to a thing that we're going to see in a second, this thing actually helped people all the way up until the 20th century. Yes, all the way from 1503 to the 20th century, this thing actually gave water to people. And alongside that, we also have the titular Portuguese crown monuments that they always built to assert the fact that they were here. Yeah, this thing basically means that the Portuguese crown owned this area, and it's here to this day. That's how awesome this is. I mean, isn't it beautiful? That, I mean, this place probably inspired Amerigo Vespucci to write the famous New World's letter. I mean, it's a letter that basically told him that he hadn't found a new way to India. Actually, he found a new continent. A new continent.
Alright guys, so just a little quick disclaimer here. The letter wasn't actually a letter per se, right? Instead it was a book called Mundus Novus that Amerigo Vespucci wrote describing the continent that he was exploring. That, if I didn't make myself very clear, he didn't discover. Okay, the continent was discovered in 1492 by Christopher Columbus. But, you know, seen as the name of the continent is Americas, you can probably tell that Amerigo Vespucci made a big difference in the discovery process of this continent. But yeah, just a little heads up.
And I mean, that letter would actually influence the fact that in 1510, this entire continent would be named the Americas for the very first time after him. And that man was present here all those years ago. And I mean, now it's a part of a tourist location. It's amazing. It's beautiful that it's still here and that it's so well presented and it's so well basically managed and built. I mean, it's truly beautiful. Alright, so to sum up everything that we've just said in this video, and because I kind of got to get this thing finished because this place is getting pretty crowded, there's a beautiful little monument here that I can use up to sum up everything. That was built in 1967 by the mayor, Hermes Barcelos, that beautifully resumes Amerigo Vespucci's story here. And according to this very monument, Amerigo Vespucci came here in 1503 aboard his ship, the Nau Britoa, right? And alongside him, 24 other men, 12 cannons, and a couple more artillery arrived to help him protect the fortress, right? And, well, it also kind of says that the water fountain over there served people all the way up until the 20th century, which is something that we already said, but it's a beautiful little monument, and it deserves to be more highlighted. So many people come here, and I think that it's nice to shine a light on something so important and precious as this. So guys, thank you for watching this pilot episode of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. This beach is awesome. It's one of the most important historical locations here in the area, but more so than that, it's just amazing. Really cold, by the way, but really good. But before I enter, I would just like to remember, basically just say the main line: no matter where you are, history will always be the star. Never forget that. But yeah, now that I'm done, you know, sometimes you just have to have fun and enter the water and have fun. You know?